Hey everybody, it is July 8th, a very hot day. Time to do another garden tour. See what's growing on. Garden's been pumping out a lot of beans and cucumbers so far. Let's see if we get lucky and have anything else we can get today. Gotta show off the chickens to start. They didn't really like the old bean plants I threw in there. So I won't be doing that again, straight to the compost for next bean plants. All right, moving on. We got the potatoes. I thought they would just get yellow and die, but they're still, even though they fell over, they're still growing. So I'm gonna give them some more time before I do an actual harvest. I want those potatoes to get as big as possible. Behind the potatoes, I got some tomatoes and this monster squash. I forget exactly what it is. I think kabocha, something like that. I forget how you pronounce it. I think that's what it is. Are there any actual squash growing? Let's see, anything. It's got flowers. I thought I saw a little one in here the other day. What? Anyway, nothing yet, at least nothing big enough to harvest, so let's keep it moving. Compost bin still going strong. This Spice Z Nectaplum has one lone fruit on it. I'm hoping that stays strong until I can harvest it. It'd be cool to get to try that first year. Okay. Check out the first metal bed. I got little melons and stuff overflowing on the side. Looks quite nice. Gonna be a hassle when I need to mow the lawn, but that's all right. In this bed I got peppers, which are starting to form. Getting some mini peppers here. In the back I got tomatoes. Plenty of tomatoes too. Nothing I can eat yet, but they're growing. And I got a lot of jalapenos in this bed. Everything's looking a little yellow. I did hit it with some fertilizer yesterday. Both some garden tone and what else? And like some fish emulsion. But they need a deep watering. I'm hoping it gets like a rainstorm later. It's saying thunderstorms. I'm really hoping. I've been lucky. Every few days we're getting a thunderstorm, so it's really helping me out with the watering. What is this? I think this one's an Anaheim, this bigger pepper plant. Anything in the back here? What? One tomato I can harvest. I forget what this variety is. I think they're orange icicle. Oh. Two so far. But as you can see, there's plenty of green ones. I got the cucumbers flowing out the back of the bed. They're not getting much light, but I just had extra cucumber plants, so. Nothing to harvest off of those. Looks like I'm gonna have a lot of tomatoes, that's nice. Any cucumbers on this plant? Not seeing any cucumbers. Toss those little tomatoes in the bowl. Am I getting any little melons yet? Come on, so many flowers. So many flowers. There's gotta be, oh. There's a little one. Hopefully it's pollinated. Let's move on to the next bed. Get a far away view. The beds overall are looking pretty nice. Everything's growing great. Trellises are getting filled up, overflowing. Hey, if you ignore that middle cucumber plant, everything's looking real healthy. That's all right though. Already got backups growing. Good. Got some cucumbers here. Oh yeah. I got a few I can harvest and a bunch of little baby ones. I'm excited for these, the Chinese eggplant. Really liked those last year. Those were great, and I make like a breakfast hash or just like sauteing up. They're growing. And these eggplants are getting big. I'm gonna have to give them more room next year. I definitely crowded them a bit. Oh, get more small peppers here. Sunbright Bell. That's supposed to be a pretty sweet yellow bell pepper. This is my stash of shishitos. Got a lot of shishitos going. Those are great as a side dish, appetizer, whatever you want to call it. You just fry them up in a pan real quick. A little dipping sauce if you please. I got a video on how I cook them up, but the gist of it is you basically just put them in a pan with a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper, and you're good to go. Let me harvest all the cucumbers I see, and I'll get back to you. Look at that, so far so good. Already got another 5 cucumbers, but I know there's plenty more in this next bed, but they look a little different. With these 2 beds, they were mostly beans. Happy accident with the sunflowers that came along with the soil I refreshed the beds with. But they're looking real nice. I'm kind of forced to plant around it. The beans did okay. You can see the beds are empty now. Yesterday, I just replanted them. Both of these beds here, I just replanted them with a mix of some more beans on this side. I forget what kind. It was a new kind of bean. It's like a red and white one. It looked interesting. But besides that, it's like kale and Swiss chard. And I did start putting a couple cucumber seeds in the ground next to where the ones are currently growing, and also in some of the empty spots, just to kind of like start the next generation of cucumbers going, because these things don't last forever. Look at all those nice flowers. Come out here the right time of day, the bees are all over them. But let's talk about these cucumbers. Look at these things. I gotta get these harvested. I got 1, 2, 3, at least 3. Let me get them. All right, look at those 3 monster cucumbers. These are either China Jade or Shuyu Long. They both kind of had the similar shape going on. I was a little iffy on them at first, but they're actually pretty tasty. They're a little thorny, but once you rinse off the cucumbers and kind of just like brush your hands along the side, they come right off. It's no big deal. And these make a great, because of these ridges on here, it makes a great cross section when you, if you happen to cut them that way for like pickle chips or something like that. Or I had a nice like cucumber salad that I made with stuff from the garden, and it looked really nice. Let's keep it moving. Anything in there? No, some of these cucumber plants are looking pretty sad, but it's also nearly 100 degrees again. It's been a pretty hot summer so far, honestly. Whoa. What did this? I don't know who did that to this cucumber, but it looks mangled. Yuck. Is that a squirrel or something? I haven't really seen that before. I do have these other cucumbers, but I think I can wait one more day. They're not too big. I mean, they're perfectly edible right now, but I think I can get away with one more day. The thing with the cucumbers is you don't want to wait too long for them to start getting too big and they start yellowing, because the thing with the cucumber plant is once they successfully grow one cucumber like all the way to make viable seeds, the plant just shuts down. So you want to just keep stealing all the cucumber fruit. That way the plant keeps producing. All right, but pretty solid harvest so far, if you like cucumbers, that is. But these two beds would be pretty barren if I didn't have all these sunflowers growing in them. So at least I have something nice to look at while the new stuff's growing in. Life got a little busy. I didn't have time to start some new plants. All right, let's get to the wood beds. These marigolds are looking really nice. More sunflowers to go along with the marigolds. These are my tomato plants. Let me swing around the other way. Excuse this massive peach tree that needs a pruning. Look how big that thing is. It looks like a bush. I pruned away so many branches and it's still like that. Anyway, this is one of my two main tomato beds. They're looking good, nice and dark green and healthy. This side took a little longer to start throwing out fruit, but to be fair, this side is mostly the bigger tomatoes, so maybe that had to do with it. The slicers, I guess you could call them. That one's pretty weird looking, but a lot of nice big fruits on these now. Nothing I can harvest right now. A little basil down on the side there. These flowers are just not been great. These happen to pop up just on their own from last year, and they have not been doing anything for me. Barely got one bloom out of them. I'm pretty aggressive with the defoliating. Any sign of brown spots, rip them, cut them off, get rid of them. This is the bed from the other side. You see there's a decent amount of tomatoes, but nothing to eat. I think that's going to be a little different with this next bed. You can see I got the marigolds on the side. Oh, yeah, I guess there's nothing really to mention. I did try, what did I try? Shallots in here. Some really sad looking shallots. I tried them from seed. Not much luck with those. I did plant them late, so I only have myself to blame. The second bed is very similar to the first one I just showed you there, where I have the tomatoes, 2 rows, single stem tomatoes. I got 16 tomatoes in each bed. This one does have a massively tall sunflower, probably in the realm of 10 feet tall, honestly. I don't know, I didn't measure it, but it's the tallest sunflower we have. This one has mostly cherry and the smaller varieties of tomatoes in it. And it looks like I actually have some I can harvest, which is nice. I have plucked a tomato here and there already, but there's some in here I can definitely take. In this bed I do have onion bulbs. I started with the, I don't know, they're called like little sets, I think. The little mini onions that you put in the ground. But chicken's just been stomping all over my stuff. Oh, nice weed. Even though they're stomped on, still growing onions. I mean, they're pretty small, to be honest with you. I probably started those late too. No big deal, live and learn. But a ton of cherry tomatoes. One I wanted to mention is this like Rosella. Look at all these, look at this truss. Look at all those tomatoes, that's insane. I'm a little worried the stem's gonna snap, but I'm gonna let it just do its thing. But this truss isn't as big, but it's still a lot. Got another truss up there. It's just pretty prolific. Even underneath this first major one, I got another one. The best thing, look at these. Let me get you. I could take a few of these. Look at that color. I like them. They taste really good too. Yeah, very good. Definitely gonna keep growing that one. This is Sun Gold Select 2 over here. It's supposed to be like a Sun Gold that's more resistant to cracking. Because that's one of the things about Sun Golds is the skin cracks very easily. Even though the fruit is delicious. I'm surprised these signs are still on the ground, honestly. Super Sweet 100s. Another classic cherry tomato. Could take them now, let them fully ripen inside, but I'm gonna wait. Yeah, should I? Nah, I'm gonna take them. Let me collect the tomatoes I can and get back to you. Okay, not a bad little harvest so far. That was my first real harvest of some tomatoes. And now you're probably thinking, hey, those don't look all that right. That's okay. As long as they start ripening a little bit, you can bring them inside, let them ripen the rest of the way, and they're gonna be just fine. Especially because if it's thunderstorms out and they're starting to get ripe, and you get a ton of rain, you have a higher chance of all the skins splitting and then they just go to waste. So get them inside. A lot of food so far. Ton more tomatoes to look forward to. That's gonna be real nice. One thing I did want to mention, I don't know if you've ever grown marigolds. This is my first time really growing a bunch of them. They're really satisfying to deadhead. I don't know if you can hear it. They just like pop off. Like nice and clean. This one. And this, I don't know if it's just this variety, but it puts out so many flower heads. And as far as I know, whenever you're growing flowers, you see the bloom just die, then just get rid of it, and the plant's more likely to keep spitting out more flowers. Kind of like with the cucumbers, and harvesting the cucumbers to get more cucumbers. All right, let's check out the next bed. It's another sad bed. This was my garlic. Pretty successful garlic harvest this year. Be even better than next year. But in the front here, I just have peppers. These peppers have been tortured, honestly. They've been sitting in those little black containers back there for far too long. But I got them in the ground finally. Plenty of fertilizer. It's like Dr. Earth, a mix of Dr. Earth and the Garden Tone. So it should be plenty of nutrients in there. And all those empty spots, not really empty, there's just a seed in there every square foot of butterbush. It's like a nice tasty sweet squash. And in the corners, I believe I tried to do couple like small varieties of pumpkin. So we'll see if those actually come up, but the important thing is to get some more stuff in the bed after you harvest so you can keep the fun going. You can see I put around the beds here, outside of the beds, I try to just stick a zucchini. When you have a bunch of plants started, you might as well do something with them, right? Some of them do a lot better than others. I'm not getting too many female flowers yet, but it's flowering and the plant's humongous. I'm happy with it. I'm sure it's going to turn into food eventually. This is my spent strawberry bed. I think I'm gonna convert this over to nice red strawberries, because these guys just aren't worth it, even if they are pretty tasty. It tastes good, but not worth the hassle. All right, what do I got over here? Some cabbages and broccoli that are growing in way too hot of a temperature for them, but they're chugging along. My chickens did come along and munch them pretty good, so I'm surprised they sprung back to life. These guys, first time growing this, and I could already tell I made a mistake with my placement. The tomatillos. Looks like I don't know what's eating these. The leaves got all these little holes in them. Besides that, they're still looking okay. They got flowers. No fruit yet. Maybe a couple little tiny things there. It's really hard to tell. Yeah. Looks like I should be having some fruit. Oh, there's a bee. Doing the work. Got a couple zucchini plants in here. It's white long zucchini. I forget the exact name. But look at that. It's my first zucchini I can actually harvest. I need to grab that right now. People always talk about like, oh, I got so much zucchini. I don't know what to do with it. I'm leaving zucchini everywhere. I have not had that problem yet so far. Squash vine borer have been a real nuisance in the past. As you can see, I'm trying my hand at growing these vertically up a stake, kind of similar to what you do with like a tomato, or at least how I grow tomatoes. It's harder to do it with this than a tomato. The stems are a lot thicker and a lot more bendy, like it wants to do its own thing. I definitely got to get some more tape on there though to support it. Nothing on this one yet. And these Chinese eggplant, they're growing okay. I'm getting some fruit, it looks like, but they're definitely getting shaded out because they're squeezed in between these giant zucchini and these guys here, so they're getting very dappled light. Let me harvest that zucchini real quick. All right, pretty happy with that. It's looking nice. It's like a white variety of zucchini. I think it's called white zucchini of Palermo, something like that. I've been trying to grow it for a couple of years now. Finally got one. I think I had one last year actually, but it was really sad. It was like half pollinated and it was gross. This one's looking like a real zucchini. Let's check out the rest of the beds. More squash. Vining along. Some more Chinese eggplant. I actually have like a Chinese and a Japanese variety. Last year I just grew Chinese. Now I got Japanese. I forget the full name of it, but the Japanese one, it looks like it's like similar where it gets long and not bulbous, but the Japanese one looks like a darker purple, where the Chinese one's like a lighter purple. I got more tomatoes in this bed. These are my paste tomatoes here. They're doing real good. San Marzano, they did real good last year too. I had them in a different bed. But I could see all the green tomatoes, just waiting for them to ripen up. More squash trailing along the ground here. This one's a zucchini rampicante. Never got to try one of those yet. I don't know if you watch James Prigioni, he made it look really good. And they're supposed to get humongous if you let them. So we'll see how that goes. Not too many flowers on this one yet, unfortunately. The leaves are a lot nicer to touch than the regular zucchini. The regular zucchini, it's like it. Oh, you know what I just noticed? This is two different plants. So this one is the zucchini rampicante. This other one, I don't know what it is. That one's directly planted in the ground instead of a raised bed. All right, so I got two things kind of competing there. I should have noticed with how different the leaves were. I thought it was just a little yellow from needing some nitrogen or something, but I did give them fertilizer, all the beds fertilizer yesterday. So everything should be good to go now. Over here, got a couple more zucchini, which I need to take the time to train a little better. But they're not doing as good as the other zucchini for some reason. I think it's very similar circumstances. Maybe they're just getting blocked more by the sun because of these tomato plants. That's the only thing that could really be causing it. This is another, I think it's like another paste tomato. It looks similar to the San Marzano. Oh, that's not right. That's a lipstick pepper. This is the tag. Orange icicle tomato. Oh, I thought I had orange icicle in the other bed. All right, so this is the orange icicle. I think it's just like an orange paste tomato. See how that does? More peppers in this bed. Mostly sweet peppers I kept down here so my daughter can reach them and enjoy them. Let's see, what else here? That about does it. This is my largest squash of them all, and I don't remember the name of it, but it's humongous. So many flowers, waiting on some female flowers. I think I saw like one or two in this giant mass of leaves and flowers. Only 2 female, so it should get pollinated at least. On this, twice now, I've seen squash vine borers landing on the leaves. And I just happened to be out here and I sprayed them with some bug soap. Killed them, I think. Looked like they were kind of having a little bit of a seizure and didn't know what was going on, so I'm hoping that did the trick. Plant's still going strong, so I think it did its trick. Yeah, a couple pears, a few pears on this tree. They're getting pretty big now. Definitely the farthest along pears have gotten for me. That's Bartlett. Hoping I can go the full distance. I do have one more thing I definitely want to show you. Hold on. This right here, the old Sweetie Pie Blackberry. Look at all the berries on this thing. And they're getting so close to ripening. I haven't even gotten to taste one yet. See? Getting dark, turning into blackberries. At first, when they first kind of formed, I'm like, oh man, these berries are kind of small. Well, they're looking a little soft actually. They're like not worth all this effort. Not that I'm putting too much effort in with these types of berries, honestly, but I'm like, oh, did I pick the right variety? But as they ripen up, they really get a lot bigger and plumper. So that was just a little learning experience for me. They look kind of small at first, but then they plump up once they start getting ripe. Really looking forward to these. I need to get to them before the birds. If I can get half these berries, I'd be pretty happy because that's a lot of berries. In the back there in the corner, also a lot of blackberries, but that's the wild blackberry. That just kind of crept in from the other side of the fence and I let grow. That one's got thorns on it. Sweetie Pie Blackberry does not have thorns. I'm just hoping the Sweetie Pie Blackberry lives up to its name and tastes really good. But I'll be able to do like a little side-by-side taste comparison, see which one is actually the best. Guys, well, that about wraps it up. I won't bother going into all the fruit trees because that's going to add just like a bunch more time to this video. And nothing too crazy to show off, honestly. But the trees are growing well. Hopefully the next video I have will include a bunch more tomatoes, the Chinese and Japanese eggplant, along with some peppers. At least the shishito should be ready. But thanks for taking the time to watch. If you have any suggestions or comments, don't be afraid to let me know. And see you on the next one.